it's been completely surprising. I just didn't have any idea what this was going to be like. And I kind of thought that I wouldn't be able to do it. But I'm here. I'm at the maximum amount of days I said I would do, past my minimum. Yeah, it's just been such a good, incredible opportunity for me to take part in this. And I'm so grateful to the organisers for spending so much of their lives on this and putting so much effort into it, because it's really quite an amazing thing, I think, and it's what's required. And I've been looking for something like this, instead of just marching in streets and just sort of passive, more benign forms of protest. There's a spectrum, along which people sort of position themselves and put limits on. They say, this is all I can do, or this is all I have time for. But I think the situation doesn't match up with that. And I feel like, I feel that at the other end of that spectrum, there are people who go out and do civil disobedience, who get arrested, who put their sort of safety and well-being at risk. And I sort of belong to more that end of the spectrum more and more, because I really do feel that urgency. And from understanding the problem and from reading the information, I feel the urgency. And I think Climate Justice Fast is that extra step that everybody really needs to take. They don't necessarily have to hunger strike, but they just need to push the line to how much commitment they can make and how much time and effort they put into activism and trying to change things, because it's kind of crucial. I just don't think that people do that enough. I think they find excuses for not doing things, and I just think we need to take people beyond that. The most important thing that I learnt was it wasn't just about like all the morality and the integrity stuff is really important, but it's actually strategic, and strategically it's probably the most effective kind of civil disobedience you can do, non-violent civil disobedience, especially stuff like fasting, because you're not actually hurting anybody. You're the only thing you're doing is sacrificing yourself, which not very many people can argue with. And it also, so I think it's the most effective tool that we have as ordinary people. We don't have guns, we don't have money, huge amounts of money, but we do have our bodies and our will. Well, I think for me, climate change just seems to be just an expression of everything that is wrong with the world. There's stark inequality, people suffering needlessly when we could actually, give them enough, or make sure that our system allows them to provide for themselves and to have a decent life, but we don't. And our lifestyles and our consumerism, long before climate change became an issue on everybody's minds, really was hurting people in the world, and it still is. And climate change is just the ultimate expression of that, and it's the ultimate injustice, and it's an accumulation of all of those things that's wrong with our system. Well, I grew up in India, and I grew up around Dalit people, and I remember my ayah, who is like a cleaning woman in my school, she cleaned toilets, and how lovely she was, and I spent a lot of time talking to her. And as a child, I didn't really understand why her sari was torn, and she was so skinny, and I didn't understand why the kids in my class who were Dalit or darker than me, used to get beaten more, used to sit at the back of the class. But I felt really bad about it, in a way that a child does. And so I guess from an early age, I was very aware of people suffering, and people being ignoring it, basically, going about their daily lives and feeling that they were superior to those people, and those people deserved what they got. And my parents didn't believe that, so I guess that's rubbed off on me. And I've done a bit of travelling. I've been to South America, and Asia, and I just keep seeing it repeated over and over again, even in Melbourne, and with homeless people, you know, Indigenous people. It's the same patterns over and over again. People just walking past and not realising the impact of their actions on people. So, and I just can't ignore it. I don't know. I just can't do it. You know, during this fast, I've been thinking a lot about hunger and what it's like to not have anything in your belly. But I don't have that anxiety, you know, because I know that I'm going to eat now in 3 hours. But I've been thinking about the people who don't know when they're going to eat. They don't know how their kids are going to eat, and that incredible anxiety that they must feel, and disempowerment, and just, yeah, I can't even imagine it. And so there's so many emotions that's going through my head. Like, I don't want to eat because I kind of feel like, well, why should I get the ability to just eat, go to a supermarket and get food, when so many people around the world don't get that? So there's this whole weird thing going on with me. And that's why my boyfriend's here, to help me get off it, and to make sure that I eat. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to it. So there's all of these multiple things going on, and it's